Now, it wasn't that long ago, I'm not being mean, that Renault and tractor units, mainstream tractor units, didn't belong in the same sentence. But that all changed dramatically with the arrival of this vehicle range. The premium market range was launched a few years ago, and I think it's fair to say that its arrival was a godsend to Renault. It suddenly put them on the shopping list of all the major fleet operators. The French are never frightened to be different in automotive design, and the premium long-distance privileged cab shows the same goals for trucks. At first thought, you think this vehicle's not for the mainstream operator, and then you think again. It seems to me it's aimed at the single driver operations with overnight stops and needing average power and all the creature comforts of home. Now, if that doesn't describe a lot of UK operations, I don't know what does. It's also evolved over the years, and tonight we're road testing its latest incarnation, the 420 CDI. Well, here we are inside the Renault 420. A couple of things I notice immediately. One, which is sort of like in your face. First of all, there's no passenger seat. It's all dedicated, as with the privileged cab, to a sofa for the driver later on. I'll talk more about that as we get on. Secondly is, I'm using the OptiDriver gearbox, which is an automatic come manual gearbox as well. So it is quite nice. I've got it in automatic at the moment, but later on as we go through the test, I'll stick it into manual and you can have a look at the difference. Now, as I said in the introduction, premium really put Renault on the map, and to be honest, it's about 2 or 3 years since I've driven one, and I can see why. I mean, the old ones with the old Berlier design stuff, they weren't really up to standard. Here, premium is a nice, modern, clean-looking vehicle, and certainly you can pass that off. It stacks itself up against any of the competition in terms of looks. Drive-wise, not bad at all. It is quite positive on the steering. It doesn't tend to lunge about too much, which I quite like, because I quite like a firm ride when I'm with the truck. Suspended seat you've got with the drivers, and that's very good indeed. I've got a nice driving position and quite easy. Noise-wise, the engine does tend to get a little bit noisy, particularly not so bad on tick-over, but when I'm giving it some revs, certainly up to the 1800 mark, then you can really feel it. So again, maybe a bit extra sound insulation wouldn't go wrong with this vehicle at all. So I've got the vehicle now in manual, and all it's a case of doing, and I mean, to be honest, it's a manual, to me it's semi-automatic really. All I do is flick it forward, just like that, and that changes my gear upwards, no problem. And then if I want to change down, I'm just going to slow down now slightly and reduce the revs, and then just bring it down one. And then she'll just draw down that. As easy as that. I mean, you can't get driving any simpler, other than stick it in automatic, that's it. And to be honest, I prefer it this way. I like it to have it semi-automatic. I like to feel like I'm in control. It's not an automatic car. I do like to feel I know what's going on with the vehicle, and therefore I enjoy it a lot better when it's in this. The vehicle on today's test was the premium 420 18 4x2. It had the Renault engine, which is powered at 412 brake horsepower at 1900 RPM, and that has a torque of 1870 Newton meters. It was matched to the ZF 12-speed gearbox, which had the OptiDriver package on that, which is a semi and manual gearbox. This long distance premium with the privileged cab on the OptiDriver gearbox just goes to show how this vehicle's evolved into a first-class driver's vehicle and should prove a big hit with many drivers.